Tav X Hebrews, purity and becoming one. This is Mr. Real Talk, your go-to YouTube channel for brotherhood, sisterhood, and an attempt at righteousness. What is wrong with black people? Somebody gotta give me some answers out here, y'all. What the hell is wrong with black people? Black men, black women are mentally out of it. And it doesn't look like they're gonna be resuscitated anytime soon. I thank the Most High God that he delivered me from being black. Because in the so-called black community, there is no hope. We are at such a low vibration in the so-called black community, y'all. Our black men are running around wearing skin-tight jeans. Look, and it's not just the young niggas either. It's the older ones too. Niggas running around with skin-tight jeans, running around with all kind of demonic rhetoric and demonic aspirations in their lives. You cannot reason with our people today. Our people are very disrespectful, very violent, very ignorant, very belligerent, unkind, unloving. You can feel the vibration of wickedness. Sometimes when you come out and it's a whole lot of Negroes around, I don't know about you guys, I can feel it. And it's quite disgusting, okay? The whole American attitude, the American swag, if you will, I'm not feeling it at all. It turns all of our men into criminals. Most black men out here walking around with some kind of chip on their shoulder, and they just waiting for you to look at them. They're just waiting for you to look at them more than 2.3 seconds so they can have a reason to start shooting. Most of our black women out here, you're completely mentally unglued. You become a mental delinquent. Nobody can tell you nothing. Nobody can correct you. Even though you are the one who's basically running the so-called black community. The black community is in shambles. But most of our women out there, you're not allowed to say anything to them. If you're going to say anything to them other than bow down and worship the ground they walk on, they're going to hate your guts. They're going to revile you. They're going to say all kind of stupid stuff about you. They're going to claim that you hate women. That's how most of our women are. They're not able to be taught anything or be corrected about anything because they're black. Just like most of these so-called black men out here, do you actually think that the average so-called black man out here is going to allow anybody to tell him anything about anything without trying to blow your damn head off? The blatant disrespect that some of these black people do towards each other, y'all. Hey, look, probably like a couple of weeks ago, right? I was out on the track, right? Trying to get my exercise on, right? This is some black stuff right here. A so-called black man, right? And I could tell he was an old jail nigga, right? Penitentiary kind of nigga, right? Old gangbanging street kind of nigga, right? So he out here, number one, it's just like cold out here. It wasn't freezing, but it was kind of cold. And it was early in the morning. This nigga is out here basically with his drawers on and his boxers. No shirt, no pants, half naked, out here working out, doing all this kind of stuff, right? Now this track, these lanes are wide enough for multiple people to go in different directions. This nigga gonna come and stand in the track. He stands in the middle of the track, okay? Now, why would you do that when there are people out here on this track working out, jogging and walking? You're gonna come and stand in the middle of the track and start doing whatever you're doing, right? And see, somebody out there may be saying, well, what's wrong with that, Ock? You don't know how black people get down. But this nigga was doing, I told you this nigga was a jail nigga, a penitentiary kind of nigga, street nigga. You can look at him and tell. A million tattoos all over his face, all kind of crazy stuff. This nigga's basically out here naked doing his little jailhouse penitentiary workouts and stuff, right? So he's standing in the middle of the damn track. Now I'm like, he can even move over to the left, but he wants to stand in the middle. And guess who the next person is that's gonna have to encounter this Negro? It's me. So I said to myself, see, this is what I'm talking about. And somebody out there might not even understand why this is such a big deal. But if you know, you know, okay? And I do know. So this nigga standing in the middle of the track, I'm jogging, right? I haven't made it all the way to where he's at yet. But I'm like, all this space out here, this nigga wanna stand in the middle of the track. He's trying to do this so-called, this is low-key trying to intimidate people on the track or whatever, right? So I says, you know what? I'm not moving. I'm not gonna get off this track. There's plenty of space on this track for people to go on the left and the right. But this nigga wants to stand in the middle of the track. I said to myself, you know what? I hope you get the message that I'm the kindest person you guys ever gonna see. But I ain't no sucker. And I'm not letting no nigga run me off the track. I said, you know what? This nigga better move, because I'm not getting off this track. There's space out here on this track for everybody. But he called himself trying to be on this gangster shit. I said, I'm not moving. And if this nigga don't move, I guess we just gonna run into each other, because I'm not getting off this damn track. At some point, y'all, being a man, you're gonna have to stand your ground. Guess what? If I would have let that nigga just stand in the middle of that track and I would have got off the track, you know what he would have said? Yeah, you soft ass nigga. Next time I come around that track, who knows what that nigga might try. You can't let people get away with certain stuff. And maybe you can, but I can't. All right? I'm surrounded by savages out here. If I let that guy get away with that, only the Most High knows what kind of stuff he'll try the next time I come around. So I'm like, I'm jogging. I'm like, yo, this nigga better move, because I'm not moving. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care if you a jail nigga, penitentiary nigga, tattoos all over your face. That shit don't move me. All right? I said, I hope this nigga move. And if he don't, I guess I'm just going to run his ass over. And then we going to have to go to war. Because I don't know what this nigga got on him out here. But thank the Most High God, something just prompted that brother to go ahead and move off the track. Why am I telling you guys that? I'm telling you that because that's the kind of stuff that black people do out here. That nigga was trying to intimidate people on the track by being out here damn near naked, working out, doing his little jailhouse workouts and stuff, and now you want to come stand in the track like, I dare somebody to come past here. Maybe you guys don't know about that kind of stuff, but I do. And I know it's a lot of you out there who do know about this kind of stuff, and you've seen this kind of shit before, okay? A lot of our people, they out to lunch, y'all. And it's dangerous to be around a lot of these niggas because they're mentally unstable. But the ones who are not as mentally unstable and as dangerous, we still got to remember that these are our brothers and sisters, right? And we got to love them. And hopefully we can fish them from out of the world. A lot of our women, I see our women walking around out here in these streets. Most of our women walk around showing their breasts, showing their ass. Got 3 and 4 kids by 3 and 4 different baby fathers, and then you got horrible attitudes on top of that. Kids be bad as hell, causing all kinds of trouble. Some of the way I see a lot of these so-called black women out here disrespecting grown men, disrespecting their kids. I seen a lot of you women out there, I can tell you don't love your kids. Somebody who loves their kids, you're not going to handle your kid like they some kind of sack of freaking potatoes. I've seen a lot of so-called black women doing that before, yanking their children around. I'm talking about treating them like a Raggedy Ann doll. Plenty of times I wanted to say something, but you know how so-called black women is. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. And you know what? How many brothers have gotten their lives snuffed out by somebody else because of their so-called woman who just kept running their mouth, didn't know what the hell she was talking about, disrespected a crazy nigga out here in the streets while they was with their man or their husband, and then their man or their husband has to deal with this crazy nigga who their woman then just disrespected. Understand this, Hebrew. If you're going to deal with a so-called black woman out here and she will not listen to you, You better kick her to the curb. Because guess what? You cannot protect somebody who won't follow instructions. In order to be protected, you must be instructed. And the instructions got to be followed. It's a part of the safety plan. I've seen videos right here on YouTube when the dudes were with their woman and the woman was acting crazy, talking out the side of her neck to some random nigga. Wouldn't stop, but the man she was with wasn't man enough to either one, tell her to shut the hell up, and if she won't, leave her the hell alone, leave her right there. Relationship over. That's what you got to be willing to do out here. And guess what? If that means you got to be single, so what? You're not missing out on anything. These women out here who are unruly and wicked, they're going to get you killed. And they're not going to shed a tear. We're talking about the black community here. A lot of children in the black community. The children are, what can you say about the children in the black community? They don't have any mothers, they don't have any fathers teaching them jack diddly poo. Remember that part in the Apocrypha says, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Y'all remember that? It said menstruous women will bring forth monsters. And that's exactly what happened. Y'all, I remember this one time, y'all. This lady, this was years ago. This lady, she was driving the bus, right? I got on the bus, and this lady said, young man, can I ask you a question? I said, sure, ma'am. She said, okay, it's about black people. I said, I'm shocked to hear her say that. I'm like, okay. Now she really got my attention now. And then she says, can I ask you something? I said, yes, ma'am, you can ask me whatever you want. She says, you promise you won't get offended? I said, now I really want to hear this. I said, I promise you, ma'am, I won't get offended. She said, and this lady was like in her 60s, y'all. She looked at me, she said, what happened to black people? I said, wow. Because look, it just blew me away that she said that, right? Because she was in her 60s. You guys know, our elders, our older people in the so-called black community, they are lost. They're lost. And they're not willing to hear anything. They don't want to learn nothing. Most of our elders, they're done. They're lost in the black community. So when I see an elder and she's asking me what happened to black people, I realize that she understands whatever this thing that has happened to black people, they're completely done and lost. So when she said that to me, like, it kind of blew me away. I was happy and sad at the same time. Happy because an older black person can see what's going on with the community. But sad because it is what I thought it was. Our people are completely destroyed. She was like, what happened to black people? And I said, wow. Look, and when she said that, I knew exactly what she meant. But I played the role like I didn't. So, I said, what do you mean by that? I think I said something like to that. That's basically what I was saying. I played the role like I didn't really know what she was talking about. So then she started going into it. That's why she asked me, please, I promise not to get offended. She started talking about the men and how unmanly that they were, how vicious they were, how brutal they were, how disrespectful black men were, how violent, savage they were, how they had no regard for either young or old, no respect for anybody. She was amazed by that. And then she was also amazed by the so-called black woman. She said, what happened to our women? Our women are just raunchy, disrespectful, naked, showing all their body, no kind of honor. This lady, she just went down the list about black men and black women and just said, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And I was only on that bus ride for a few minutes, and she did most of the talking. I can't even remember if I had a chance to tell her that we was the Israelites and that these are the curses and all this. Because mind you, there's other people on this bus now. And people like ear hustling and all this kind of stuff. She wasn't talking to nobody else but me, but people was trying to ear hustle. And I can't remember whether or not I told her. But knowing me, I'm sure that if I had time, I'm sure that I tried to go into the spiel about why all these things was happening to us, that those things were curses. I've had the opportunity to talk with a few older people, a few of our elders, and it looked like I was actually being able to break through to some of them. But the majority of our elders in the black community, it's a wrap. They done. They stuck in idolatry, they stuck in their ways, and they don't want to learn anything. They can't learn anything. Because you know what? It's the Most High God who decides who gets to learn something. You can't just pop up and start learning just because you want to. We might think that that's how it works, but it don't work like that, Hebrew. So now I'm asking y'all the same thing that bus driver asked me that day. And don't get offended, anybody out there. What is wrong with black people? I know you guys out there know, my brothers and sisters who've been subscribed to this channel. All of us know what's wrong with black people. And you guys can come in the comment section and say what's wrong with so-called black people. But to anybody who's finding this video, finding this channel for the first time, I'm asking you, what is wrong with black people? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm sure I got some links down below in the video description. Check those links out. Hit the like button, Hebrew. This is Mr. Real Talk, your go-to station for brotherhood, sisterhood, and an attempt at righteousness. Peace, Hebrew.